What's up guys, it's the Hockey Radar tracking drafts and prospects, and today we have a requested 2026 draft series video for Jukurit defenseman Albert Smits. This is player number 17 of the series and defenseman number 6. If you haven't seen the rest of the 2026 draft videos, make sure to check out the rest of my page for the whole playlist and tons more prospect content. Originally from Valmiera, Latvia, Smits is a 6'3", 205-pound left shot defenseman who just turned 18 earlier this week. He has spent essentially his entire young pro career in Finland and has played the last 2 seasons with the Jukurit organization, wearing number 23. Last season, he put up 20 points in 20 games for the U18 team, 9 points in 21 games for the U20s, and 2 points in 9 games for the men's team in the top flight Finnish Liiga. So far this season, he has 10 points in 5 games for the U20s, proving that he was certainly above that level of play, and has since gone on to put up 12 points in 26 games so far for the men's team, proving he is a decent two-way defenseman with solid offensive output. Those 12 points are good for 16th amongst league defensemen and first amongst all U20 defensemen in the men's league. On the international stage, he put up 3 points in 5 games for Latvia at the U18 World Juniors and has 1 assist in 3 games for the Latvian men's team this year. I would expect him to be their best defenseman and potentially their best player at the upcoming World Juniors, where they will have an uphill battle in a pool with Canada, Finland, Czechia, and Denmark. He has been ranked as high as 8th in the 2026 draft rankings and as low as 19th, and I would slot him in just outside the top 15, ranging around the 16th to 20th range right now. However, a strong World Juniors performance could change that, as other defensemen ahead of him in the rankings may not get a chance to represent their countries like he will. I expect Smits to put up at least a half point per game pace for Latvia at the World Juniors, and for him to close out this Liiga season, hitting the 25-point mark with 10 goals, 15 assists in a 55-plus game season. Watching Smits play, one thing that stands out above the rest is definitely his size. Even in the men's league, he still looks much bigger and stronger than most of his opponents, and he uses that to his advantage as he is great at puck protection, using his body to shield the puck, and overall, he's just hard to move and gain inside positioning on, especially in front of the net as he can clear out almost anyone. If he can translate this to the North American game and showcase his size and strength at the World Juniors and show how advantageous it can be for him, it will surely catch the eyes of NHL scouts. The World Juniors will be held in Minnesota, meaning the ice will be smaller than Finland, so along with his size, we will see how his overall game will translate to the smaller rink. He often plays on the right side as a left-handed defenseman, and this versatility could be huge as right-side defensemen are hard to come by, and being able to play both may give him an edge over others in the draft. Overall, he is a smooth skater, good with the puck, and without the puck he has long powerful strides, meaning he can cover a lot of ground when tracking back. In the D-zone, there are some defensive breakdowns, which can be expected with a team playing in the men's league, but still it is a bit of a worry and something that he will need to tighten up in the coming years, whether that's overseas or in the AHL. Breakout passing is a bit 50-50, some passes are great and effective, while others are a bit confusing and lead to easy turnovers and entry back into his zone. He does also look to jump up a lot on the rush, often without the puck fully being broken out yet, very offensive-minded in this way, which again is not a good look, and he will need to tighten this up. However, a positive for that is when he does jump up, he is great at recovering back on D if it's turned over, which is good, but again, if he never jumped out of position in the first place, he would not need to recover. In the D-zone, he has good pressure on the puck carrier and solid stick work, as being 6'3" comes along with a long reach, and he uses it effectively. With the puck, he has solid hands, picks the puck off the boards with ease, and can spin away quickly from checks to make a play. He is calm under pressure, like I said, protects the puck really well and can pass it off or spin off checks when needed and while maintaining composure. He gets PK time and he looks decent, knows when to be aggressive and pressure the puck, and also knows when to hold back and stay in the passing and shooting lanes. On offense, like I said, he jumps up a lot on the play to help out and makes smart pinches along the boards to keep the puck in. He's got a solid shot from the point and can load up a heavy one-timer from the right side as a left-handed shooter. He also has great puck distribution in the O-zone and knows when to carry the puck and switch off with forwards to take it deep in the zone to make a play. Overall, he has some defensive lapses, which can be resolved, but he does have some great strengths in the D-zone too, and in the O-zone he is very effective, and I could see him putting up solid numbers if he were to come over to the AHL next season. Smits is a decent two-way defender, but I have a little bit more confidence in his offensive game right now than his defensive game. This can be fixed though, and there is a lot of raw talent and size there that will still make him a very solid first rounder for any team picking in the late teens. Some teams who I could see scooping this kid up, and most likely teams who are just making the playoffs. The Bruins could use a kid like this. He's got huge size and could play a punishing game, which is what Boston loves, especially since they hold the Leafs pick. Whether it's them making the playoffs or the Leafs, one of their first rounders could be in the 17 to 18 range, which would be perfect for this kid. The Bruins need to start building up their future D-core to go along with the solid young forwards they have in their system. Smits could do very well in this organization who knows how to develop defensemen, especially big and physical defensemen, and I would love to see the Bruins pick him up, bring him to Providence for next year and the year after, then give him a shot when the next wave of Bruins are emerging, like Higgins and Minton. Another team is the Chicago Blackhawks. While they do have several young defensemen, since they hold their own and Florida's first rounders, I would expect them to be picking up a few more prospects next draft, and after taking 3 forwards in the first round last year in Frondell, Nestrasil, and West, I would expect them to target a defender, and I think Smits could be a perfect fit. He could really round out a future top 4 of Levshunov, Rinzel, Korchinski, and Smits, and they would all bring a very intimidating combination of size and offensive upside. The Hawks are another team who have historically developed some strong defenders, and although it's taking some time for Korchinski, I think Smits could really flourish in the Chicago organization. Last team, I'll go with Utah, who could be in a playoff spot, maybe not, but either way they will be picking around the 15 range, and if they do, I think Smits could be a great fit. Like the Blackhawks, they have taken a lot of forwards in the last couple first rounds, in Desnoyers, Iginla, and Baudouin, and apart from Simashev, their defensive prospects are lacking, and with Nate Schmidt and Ian Cole currently in that top 6 left side, I think they will need some replacements for them in the coming years. Smits could be a great addition and could learn under a very solid defenseman in Sergachev, and flourish with this up-and-coming Utah roster. Overall, I think Smits will go just after the top 15, as while there is a lot of raw talent, there are several defenders who will be going before him, and a few issues in his game that won't be worth using a top 15 pick. The World Juniors will be a huge stage for him to showcase his skill though, and maybe change this, and I am excited to see what he can do. He could be a solid 4th, maybe 5th defenseman in the NHL, who could maybe run a second power play unit. That's all for Smits for now. Let me know what you guys think and where you think he'll go. Like and subscribe and stay tuned for tons more prospect content.